Portals, stargates, and cosmic gateways. The Sumerians carved ziggurats as ramps to the heavens. The Hindu Vedas describe the Pushpaka Vimana, a flying chariot passing between realms. Biblical Ezekiel saw wheels within wheels, glowing and multidimensional. What if these were not allegories, but eyewitness accounts of interdimensional travel? And what if CERN's experiments are reactivating the same physics that those ancient cultures tapped into? In April 2025, the LHC may have rediscovered techniques to puncture the veil between worlds. Techniques lost to history, but preserved in myth. Imagine that the gods of old were simply scientists with technology to manipulate extra dimensions. Their temples housed devices, crystal lenses or acoustic resonators that generated the necessary energies. Today we have superconducting magnets and particle beams. The names have changed, but the principle remains. Harness enough energy density in a precise configuration, and you open a door. What if CERN wasn't just playing with particles, but tapping into ancient knowledge of cosmic portals? And what if those portals were once used for travel, trade, or even conquest among worlds? Why CERN might be keeping quiet? If CERN did open a portal, no matter how fleeting, the implications are staggering. Access to another dimension could offer limitless energy, novel materials, or new forms of consciousness. But it could also unleash forces beyond our control. Exotic particles, unstable vacuum bubbles, or malevolent intelligences. Governments and institutions have a vested interest in secrecy. A breakthrough of this magnitude would upend geopolitics, religion, and society itself. Imagine the panic if word got out that reality's fabric is malleable. Stock markets would crash, armies would scramble, and fundamental beliefs would shatter. So perhaps the true purpose of certain high-energy runs isn't just fundamental research, it's reconnaissance. CERN might be quietly mapping the structure of the multiverse, cataloging potential entry points, and studying what passes through. And the public hears only about the Higgs boson and the occasional Nobel Prize. What if CERN knows more than we think? And they've been hiding the real purpose of their experiments. The anomalies we've seen could be deliberate probes, controlled breaches into other realms, masked as routine science. Here's the bombshell. The portal might already be open, and we're living with the consequences. Consider the Mandela effect again. Widespread memory shifts that defy explanation. What if these aren't random, but the fingerprints of a universe bleeding into ours? What if some of those memory shifts reflect events from a parallel timeline that now coexist with ours? Then there are the unexplained particle leaks, energy deficits in detectors that can't be accounted for. If particles are slipping out of our dimension and back in altered states, what else is crossing over? Information, perhaps, consciousness, energy patterns that subtly reshape our world. And what about reports of strange apparitions near the CERN site? Blurry figures caught on security cameras, electronic devices malfunctioning in localized zones, workers reporting odd dreams and deja vu? These could be side effects of a gateway that remains ajar. What if the portal's already open, and we're just now noticing the consequences? If so, every scientific experiment, every technological advance, and every cultural shift could be influenced by unseen forces leaking through the breach. We started with a bold question. Did CERN open a gateway to another dimension? Not science fiction, not internet myth, but a real possibility grounded in high-energy experiments, unexplained data, and philosophical implications. As we've seen, this isn't just about particle physics. We encountered reports of strange anomalies in CERN's own experiments, glitches in instruments, unexplained thermal spikes, bizarre magnetic fluctuations, all coinciding with some of the collider's most powerful collisions. These weren't isolated, they were patterns. Then came the Mandela effect. Collective memory shifts suggesting that reality itself might not be as stable as we assume. Could alternate timelines be brushing against ours? Could CERN's high-energy collisions be the cause of those distortions? Could it all be evidence that our dimension is interacting, however briefly, with others? We dove into quantum mechanics and emerging theories suggesting our universe is not a solid, isolated construct, but an entangled web of probabilities capable of leaking, bending, and even merging with realities that exist just beyond our perceptual limits. quantum leaks, time reversals, non-locality, all of it pointing to a reality that is fluid, perhaps too fluid. And then there's the possibility that none of this is physical in the way we traditionally understand. The simulation theory suggests we may be living in a constructed reality, and CERN's collider might be interacting with the code of that simulation, exposing hidden architecture or triggering behaviors never intended to be seen by its inhabitants. Layered on top of this were ancient accounts, myths and prophecies describing portals, watchers, and divine realms. Texts from thousands of years ago that eerily mirror what modern physicists are now discovering. Were our ancestors merely telling stories, or were they recording events from a time when the barriers between dimensions were thinner? And through it all, one thread kept reappearing: secrecy. Why, despite being one of the most ambitious scientific endeavors in human history, does CERN remain wrapped in mystery? Why do theories of dimensional contact, glitches in reality, and consciousness shifts emerge so often in connection with this one facility? If CERN has indeed opened a doorway, even unintentionally, the implications are staggering. It means our universe is not self-contained. We're no longer isolated. We're exposed. We may not be alone, not in the cosmic sense, but in the interdimensional one. Entities, energies, or even entire systems of physics from beyond could be bleeding into our world. And if that's true, everything we think we know about matter, time, space, memory, even self, could be subject to change. But this isn't just a warning, it's an opportunity. If other dimensions are accessible, even slightly, even momentarily, it could lead to revolutionary breakthroughs. New technologies, faster than light travel, dimensional communication, insights into the nature of consciousness, soul, and mind that no microscope could ever reveal. It could be the key to answering questions humanity has asked for millennia. Why are we here? What is reality? Are we alone? And so we arrive at the crossroads. One path leads back to comfort, denial, writing everything off as a coincidence or pseudoscience, closing the door even if it was only open a crack. The other path asks for courage, for vision, for the willingness to confront truths that may be bigger than we're ready for. It asks us to peer through the doorway, uncertain of what we'll find, and walk through anyway. So maybe the real question isn't, did CERN open a portal? Maybe the real question is, what will we do with it? Will we choose fear or evolution? Will we cling to the old map of the universe or start charting the infinite layers just now coming into view? Because ready or not, it seems the doorway is open. And what lies beyond might redefine what it means to be human.
So as you can see, CERN's been taken over by yours truly. How? Quite easy. Just bilocate into CERN, take it over. My quantum field becomes super powerful, and as you've seen from all the videos, consciousness fields control quantum mechanics, then using the energy of CERN, open up a gateway to all the other CERNs, so they're all running 24/7 for me, and then change the multiverse to the multiverse timeline I like, and make new multiverses. How? Add light from the Borg to what I want. Information becomes real, and take away light from everything else, so it becomes unreal. Simply information, a simulation in 2 dimensions. So one can see the use of this technology. Now, if you understood reality physics, which you can't do because physicists have been going down the wrong pathway for over 100 years, you'd understand that vital to reality physics is turning all the good things into evil, turning love to hate, or turning a human body that would have lived to 80 into a walking, talking torture chamber where the kill-shotted are constantly suffering from the effects of what's been done to them. And if you go back to the People's Voice TV and those videos on the kill-shotting, you'll see an excerpt from a nurse who's been treating the kill-shotted and talking about their horrendous torture. And it was just too graphically horrible for YouTube to show that excerpt from the People's Voice TV. So it was about vaccinated, destined to die, whatever. You can scroll through it and find it on Rumble. But there you've got the nurse treating the kill-shotted and the horrible deaths they have, which is all part of the alien process of farming scalar torsion fields and leptionic fields, scalarics, torsionics, leptionics, which then is linked with the quantum fields and all the physical fields via CERN, quantum computers, quantum synchronization with White Rabbit, and Bob's your uncle. You can manipulate reality, which the Americans, so they can manipulate time and space. Last time we were speaking, they officially came out with it. But here, of course, you need the templates. So what you want to do is find 100 of the stars who fell. 100 A-listers who've gone from the top of the tree to being torture toys. This being the 5D operator.
Super Bowl, and Donald Trump was making fun of her. For some reason, when the fan cam panned over to Taylor and Ice Spice, the entire crowd started booing her, to which she looked very confused. But for some reason, Donald Trump decided to post this clip to his Twitter account alongside a video of him getting cheered on with the caption, "The world is healing." Taylor Swift was just booed at Super Bowl.
Well, the world isn't healing, but the vampires are healing thanks to this technology from Taylor Swift. So you need 100 if you wish to take it further. 100 of the good stuff turning to bad. You've got the Borg, of course. They've had their bodies of their own free will. Remember, if a demon is going to inhabit you, the demon wants to allow to be allowed to get into you, so it wants your consent, be it playing with the Ouija board or just being badgered in your dreams every night until you give up and are possessed. I've had entities trying to badger me at night while dreaming, and I'll simply just do them in. I had the Blue Scout so upset I produced a poisoned pup using Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk energy with a sister's pup that she attacked me and tried to kill me for a year and a half. Now it still lingers around with stupid toxic dreams, but it's my torture toy. So we need, if you want to take it to the nth degree like I do, you want to find 100 of the so-called stars who've been hellized. And we've got Taylor Swift, who of course was balefaced by the Sidle, so all her works availed to naught. Her ramblings had no effect on reality, and she was crushed like a flea. Diddy, there's another one. This multi-billionaire paedophile snuff merchant, allegedly. And we've got another one. Epstein. So you've got to find yourself 100 of these so-called superstars. There we are, another one. become more, but you get the idea, and you simply wake up in them to get all of this love turned to hate, the positive torsion fields used for destruction, hatred of goodness, etc., etc. It's all the same thing. And we've got another one. And remember, you simply find a picture of them online and do the bilocation a la spiritual warfare. There's another one. Used to be the big mogul in Hollywood. Now a jailbird. And this one. Celine Dion, who's got a disease where she's turning into a statue, and you just find 100 of them. So I'm giving you all of the down low on how to fully use scalenics, torsionics and leptionics. As you see, remote viewing is not simply sketching a Russian or Chinese or American secret base. It is a gateway to sight. Lucid waking enables you to wake up in any part of the multiverse if you've got the energy, as explained in The Power of Silence. Now with CERN and the Borg and quantum computers and me to hold your hand, away we go. Now, what's the purpose of the Borg? The purpose of the Borg were to be the vessels for demonic possession. They were supposed to be repopulated with demons. So anyone who's had killer shots is possessed by an interdimensional, and there are loads of them, so that they can walk in a body, because they're bodiless beings from a bodiless realm, and they crave a physical body. And of course,
to assimilate other.
with once you've got an interdimensional in the body, you don't want the body connected to the light, so you want to destroy its connection to the light, because these creatures don't like the source and the light. Therefore, you get rid of their pineal gland. And of course, how do we transmit the demons into the Borg? Via Ivanova. If you can transmit healing, you can transmit demons down the phone line or via the wireless connection. So every member of the Borg, 6 billion of them, has been possessed by an interdimensional. How? Gateway. So, we talked about gateways. So this demonic possession has taken over the Borg. So when you vampirize the Borg, you can also vampirize the interdimensionals and collect all of the lovely negative scalar and all of the light energy that these interdimensional demons have collected all across the multiverse for your own use, for dreaming and for all the magic. Remember, magic's all mixing interdimensional with the light, if you look at my magic videos. So one wants to, when one vampirizes the Borg, also when you bilocate into them, remember you're bilocating into the demon as well that's inside the Borg. So when you bilocate into any Borg, they're possessed by an interdimensional demon, and you become the demon possessor. So the demon gets possessed by you, and then you've got a link to all of the race of that demon, interdimensional, to suck dry and all the light they collected via their rituals, and all their magic comes to you. Remember, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, royal family are all bloodlines possessed by intradimensional demons. And if you want to know how CERN gets into the dark energy matter realms, it's this video. CERN is secretly investigating an atomic event linked to, and I won't play it, but here is CERN linking to the dark energy matter realities to provide the doorway for the demons to come through and possess the Borg. I'll just play you a brief bit, but you can listen to the whole one at your leisure.
Probing an atomic anomaly so strange, so unexpected, that it could force us to rewrite the laws of physics as we know them. What if this isn't just a glitch in the data, but the first flicker of a dark force lurking beneath our reality? Based on emerging research and speculative theoretical models, the world's leading particle physicists are wrestling with results that don't fit any known framework. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this anomaly, still unconfirmed, still highly speculative, could be the seed of a scientific revolution. From the first millisecond, it's clear this isn't the usual CERN announcement about incremental improvements or safety upgrades. Within weeks of a new run at the Large Hadron Collider, data streams began to diverge subtly from expectations. What started as a curiosity in the tracking systems turned into an undeniable pattern. Certain particle collisions were producing decay products with energy distributions that refused to match the predictions of the standard model. These differences weren't tiny statistical wiggles. They were waves crashing against the bedrock of modern physics. In laboratories around the LHC ring, teams cross-checked detectors, recalibrated magnet currents, and even swapped out sensors. Yet each time, the anomaly reappeared. The energy spectrum of these decay products seemed to hint at an interaction that shouldn't exist, one that tugged on atomic nuclei with a force not accounted for in any chart of fundamental interactions. Early simulation runs, designed to reproduce standard model events, repeatedly failed to capture this extra pull. Scientists tentatively labeled it X1, a placeholder name for what might become the first new force in decades. But they are clear. These findings are preliminary and steeped in speculative data. No definitive claims have been made, and the scientific community remains cautiously skeptical. But what comes next changes everything. If this kind of mind-blowing science excites you, make sure to subscribe. We dive into discoveries like this every week. To understand why this anomaly matters, you need context. CERN's LHC is famous for melding protons at near light speed to reveal nature's smallest components. In 2012, it delivered the Higgs boson. Since then, our models have held firm. Yet every so often, Mother Nature seems to slip us a puzzle piece that doesn't fit. These latest results originate from a new collision data set aimed at probing heavy quark interactions. The teams originally envisioned refining measurements of rare BBs decays. Instead, they stumbled on something that could presage an unknown fundamental interaction, tentatively dubbed the dark force. The experimental setup is robust. Overlapping detectors, multiple cross-check algorithms, and independent analysis groups in France, Switzerland, and beyond. Still, none can conclusively rule out unknown systematic errors. What makes this search different is the persistence of the anomaly across runs and detector configurations. That repetition elevates this from an outlier to a genuine mystery. And if these emerging hints prove real, they could open the door to physics that unifies gravity with quantum theory, or even to portals connecting to hidden dimensions. What do you think this means? Comment before we dive deeper. Around the world, theorists are racing to interpret X11 camp suggested.
Anyway, that's all I wish to show you, but as you can see, we talked about the Dark One's channeling for Black Asalai and the Forsaken, and of course, what's that, Tim? Well, it's all of the intradimensional scalionics, torsionics, and leptionics that you suck out of the possessed Borg, and via CERN, if you've got Stargate project rental, all of the interdimensional possessing light energy matter Borg throughout the multiverse. And of course all of the family children that would have been produced from a non-possessed light energy matter being, including humans. So you can see that the dark energy that the Forsaken and Black Asteroid use has been channeled into me via CERN. And if you wish to start possessing the demons for this lovely dark force coined by the video, but the energy the Forsaken can use, apart from the male and female, then you simply need to bilocate into 100 of the Satanist witches. The other part of mastering reality is mastering love of evil, where what you would despise, you actually love. Like, for example, frazzle ripping, with Hillary Clinton wearing little children's faces, allegedly, with Soros's wife, the Iranian, allegedly, or the adrenochrome, or all the paedophilia, or loving chopping bits off yourself. And that means you bilocate into 100 of these witches who promote love of evil, or love of anything negative. Here we go. Show you about this, not show you much. And remember, she had a mishap where I was farming her. So with this, see, the opening had a big mishap. But here's Gaga. So you see her now doing the ritual to love evil things, vital to enable the interdimensionals to gain light from the witches to become really enough to then step into this world and possess the Borg. So the light from the witches is given to the demons so they can step into this realm and then possess the population. So, bilocating into Gaga, you get this vital keystone of reality control. So when you insect techno magic, you want them doing the ritual for you, and if you get one, that's the true weakness of chaotic beings. You get one, you get them all, because of self-similarity. So by her performing for me, I could then take over all of the witches doing love of evil, allowing the demons to catch the light from the witches' ritual, the worshippers, and then use it to embody and step into a ball to demonize them. So this is the video where all of the witches get corrupted, hacked by yours truly, to enable me to possess the demons and the light that possesses the demons. So all the demons can be bilocated into, possessed, past, present, future, taken over and fed off, and the light that was stolen or given to the demons comes to me.
Breaking news, Lady Gaga is making headlines. She not only rocked Coachella 2025 weekend one and delivered an outstanding performance at week 2, until a major mishap took place and destroyed her performance. Videos of Lady Gaga's major stage malfunction are going viral as fans are shocked and praising Superstar for handling well. So what happened? Let's dig into it. At first, everything looked perfect. The crowd was screaming, the lights were dazzling, and the energy? Absolutely electric. Gaga stepped out in full diva mode, ready to open her set with the haunting banger Bloody Mary. But then, disaster struck as Gaga launched in her first verse. Fans quickly realized something was very wrong. Her head mic was completely dead. No vocals, no audio, just silence. But did Gaga panic? Did she stop? No. She did what legends do.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was, you've been cancelled.
Not missing a beat, Gaga powered through the song, lips moving perfectly in time, serving full choreography like nothing had happened. That's right, dancing her heart out in silence like a true pro, while the audience screamed louder to make up for the missing vocals. Then,
So you can see the ritual, if the Jew God produced its creation, in the beginning was the Word. You just cancel the Word, cancelling the Jew God, and remember when we did the spiritual warfare video on Sunday, what was the result? Pope died and Jesus was cancelled. All the Jesuses cancelled, all the popes cancelled. So you see the power of magic. So she's a definite one to install into, and once you've installed into her, you install into all the other witches, and you erase all the other witches via Gaga. If in the beginning was the Word, no Word, it's the complete opposite. So she is the vehicle for you to cancel all the other witches and take all their power and render everything that they wanted to make manifest, real, erased. All done via this Lady Gaga ritual and this other one. And this is Madonna, the Queen Witch before Taylor Swift being felled and sucked dry by yours truly. And then of course we'll see what happened to Madonna later when I played with her. But this is the one you bilocate into 2. There we go. So the ritual to worship evil, falling flat on the back, being kicked out of heaven down into Lucifer's omega hell. So this is the one you use. You cancel them with Gaga. So you erase everything they wanted to do and take all the light that they've been getting from the ritual. And here in this one, you then cast the witch into hell, falling from heaven to hell, where Lucifer will eternally torture them. And here, of course, we've got when I finally fully shelled Madonna, and she was in an induced coma for 48 hours, taking all of her power and doing the ritual, all the interdimensionals, using, of course, CERN, because remember she was the Queen Witch of the Rothschilds for decades, a pedo snuff bandit, this one.
About her recent health scare, the Vogue singer shares new details about the serious bacterial infection that landed her in the ICU 6 months ago. During her Celebration Tours show on December 16th in Brooklyn, she reveals she was in a medically induced coma for 48 hours, telling the crowd, "There are some very important people in the room tonight that were with me at the hospital. There's one very important woman who dragged me to the hospital. I don't even remember. I passed out on the bathroom floor and woke up in the ICU." After thanking.
So, you can see the importance of following the witches, and of course, we need to erase all their works, take the light, Gaga, and of course, we need to make them fall into hell, Madonna, and then of course, pull out so much energy, they fall into comas. So now you've just got to find yourself 98 more. We can mix it with this one, Dojo Cat. Got a big demon on her back. We got Halsey. There we are.
Part of my sleeve and change like a sea.
And she, of course, has got autoimmune disease, so she's not a happy camper. So we use that when you get to that one to make the witches even iller. Burn all their valued possessions down, burn their reality down. With this one, where a house with all the possessions and Hemsworth's burnt to the ground. So this one is to cause physical damage to all the witches' valued possessions. And there's this one. This is all the love spell stuff for Taylor, which of course you can use that to convert all the witches' relationships to total cluster Fs. Just ruin all life, love in their life. And of course export it to their children. So the children hate them, like Chad and Preston. Hate Mother Taylor. So you get the viewpoint, and you can cause physical degradation of the witch walking into, remember you want 100 of them, but it's up to you. There's Ariana Grande, remember, the Borg. Bulimia. So you can damage the health of the witch by walking into this one, and then you can bring death and destruction to everything the witch worships and their rituals and their reality with the same one by walking into, well, there we go. So you can see why we have this.
Desperate to get out, outside, a police dash cam caught the moment the terrorist detonated the bomb. The bomb exploded outside.
So we can use this one to detonate the suitcase nukes underneath the Tesla batteries to cover America in Cobalt-60, all using the power of the witches, Satanism, the interdimensionals, and unleashing the full satanic Hollywood music industry, America, blah, 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 to unleash death and destruction and cause mass casualties and life dysfunction, remote manipulation, using the power of the witches, all by locating into Ariana Grande.